So, Cardano's launched smart contracts. So this is major news because it means now that Cardano can support building of loads of dApps and NFTs on its network. So the space has now been created for real world utility to finally be built on Cardano's blockchain. So if you've never heard of Cardano before, I explain it in this video here. So basically, Cardano is a layer 1 smart contract platform. So it's similar to Ethereum, Solana, Terra, Avalanche, Phantom. So you can see here that Ethereum is by far and away the biggest crypto in terms of total value locked, which basically means how much money is locked into its network. But the problem with Ethereum is that it doesn't work very well, right? The transactions are super expensive. So if you're trying to buy another crypto on Uniswap, it can cost between $30 and $60, and that's on a good day. But fees can go up to like 7 or 8 times the price when there's high congestion on the network. So this happens when loads of people are trying to sell, or when there's a big NFT drop that's happening where loads of people are trying to mint the NFTs at the same time. But because Ethereum has had smart contracts for years, for a long time it was the only network where developers could build on. So it completely dominated the market, and it gained its network effect through Metcalfe's law. So Metcalfe's law is saying that in a network, imagine if there's 2 people, there's one connection that you can make between them. So every time you add one more person to the network, the number of connections doesn't go up by just 1, it goes up exponentially. So Metcalfe's law has happened before with things like Facebook, where the more people that join Facebook, the more valuable the network becomes. So with Ethereum, even if the transaction price keeps getting higher, because they've got such a powerful network effect, they're still the #1 dominant crypto in the space. So we don't know yet if Cardano and Ethereum can coexist the same way that PlayStation and Xbox do. Or it might be like Blu-rays against HD DVDs. Like if you remember back in the day where Blu-rays dominated so much of the market that it didn't matter if HD DVDs were better because Blu-rays had so much of the network effect. Or it could be a situation like MySpace and Facebook, where MySpace originally had all of the network effect, but then Facebook came in and took all of it away. So the question is, will Cardano be able to take away the network effect from Ethereum? Right, how do we know that people will move away from Ethereum? So we don't know that for certain. What we do know is that Cardano's fees will be way cheaper than this. Like even in the short time between coming back to this website, the price for transactions has already blown up. It's not a guarantee that Cardano will take away Ethereum's network effect, but I think that is very likely because at the end of the day, people just want to move to a network that has cheaper fees. If we look back in the past, this is exactly what happened with the Binance Smart Chain. So when Binance Smart Chain launched, throughout February, the number of users on its network exploded. The big difference between Binance Smart Chain and Cardano is that Binance Smart Chain is way more centralized. Binance Smart Chain only has 21 validators, so there's issues with trusting the system. Whereas Cardano has over 2,000. So it's a lot more decentralized, which makes it more secure and harder to shut down. So you can see here that Ethereum has over 230,000 validators. But I think that the majority of the general public don't know, or they don't care how decentralized a network is. So what people do know is how cheap the transactions are. That's why Binance Smart Chain boomed. That's why other layer 1 smart contract platforms like Solana and Avalanche have boomed. And that's why people are predicting that Cardano is going to do the same. So the smart contracts released on Cardano, it all went smoothly. So why then is the price down 20%? So when you compare it to other layer 1 smart contract platforms like Solana, that's up, Luna's up, Avalanche is up, Algorand's up. Why is Cardano in the red? So the first reason is this phrase that's used a lot where people buy the rumor and sell the news. So you can see that when it was rumored that the smart contracts were going to get released in September, the price was going up all throughout July and August. And then when it happened, they sold the news and the price has been selling off since then. Right, so this buy the rumor, sell the news, it's happened with other cryptos like Dogecoin, where on this exact date of the 8th of May is when Elon Musk went on Saturday Night Live. So people were buying the rumor, and then on the day, loads of people sold, and there hasn't been any major news for Dogecoin since that, so the price has been fading away. So with Cardano, with this release of Goguen, which was the smart contracts era, that is the big piece of news for Cardano now. So now they're going to start working on the next era, but that's not going to be released for the next few years. So there'll be no major pieces of news for Cardano for a while now. Another reason is that there was a lot of negative news recently about an issue called concurrency. So one of the projects on Cardano called MinSwap came out with a testnet, but it failed because of that issue. So what I'm hearing is that a lot of other projects on Cardano have claimed to solve it, but they're not releasing the exact solution. Like this guy says down here, like there's this super secret solution that they're not going to discuss. And the reason why is because like MinSwap, SundaySwap and all of these projects, they're in competition with each other, right? So if SundaySwap have a solution to a problem, they're not going to release it. When everything's live and they've gained their market share, then the solution will be released, which is understandable, right? And another reason, and one of the biggest reasons probably, is because the market moves with Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is the mothership. If its price starts to drop, then all of the other cryptos will start to drop. So when Bitcoin falls, most of the other cryptos will fall as well. And then when Bitcoin decides to blast off, Cardano will do the same. So right now the price has been moving sideways, but what's the prediction for the future? So in the short term, which is like days to weeks, anything can happen because the markets are volatile and unpredictable. But in the long term, which is like the next few months, if they get adoption the same way Binance Smart Chain did, they can grow to be strong competition. So when you can see, like when Binance Smart Chain gained adoption throughout February, the Binance coin started blowing up as well. So that's why the price for Cardano hasn't moved, because it's just been released. Adoption on the network isn't expected to happen until a few months. So if we're talking about exactly what the price is going to go up to, I'm not qualified to be able to give those predictions. The predictions from the people I listen to though, like Invest Answers says it's going to be around $4, Coin Bureau says around $4 or $5. But the thing is to remember that with these estimates that people give out in public, they always give estimates on the low end because it's better for their reputation if the price for Cardano goes over that than if they give a high-end estimate and the price never reaches it. And there's so many factors that determines where the Cardano price goes. It's impossible to say for certain if it will even hit $4 to $5. And if anyone tries to tell you exactly what's going to happen, they're lying to you. So another thing to remember about the price is that it's dependent on the markets, right? And the markets don't follow the tech and they don't follow reality. Like markets are based more on human psychology. So what we've seen repeatedly over time in the markets is that human psychology dictates a phase where there's extreme greed and then there's fear. So it results in these booms and busts. So we can expect this to happen at some point with all of the crypto markets, including Cardano. Even if Cardano keeps growing and getting more adoption, this could still happen to the price, right? So we know that Cardano in 2019 were a better project than they were when they were building in 2018. So the price in 2018 exploded. So yeah, the point is, even if Cardano's technology keeps improving and the network keeps getting adoption, the price will do its own thing. Another thing to remember is that Cardano in this layer 1 smart contract platform ecosystem is a super competitive space. So there are other layer 1 cryptos that it's competing with that are all trying to take that network effect from Ethereum, like Solana, Avalanche, Phantom. And then, right, Ethereum itself is building layer 2s. So these are networks on top of Ethereum that are helping it run faster and quicker and cheaper. So like for example, Polygon and Arbitrum, they're part of the Ethereum network, and even if the Ethereum base layer transactions are slow, people might still use Ethereum anyway on these layer 2s because they're going to provide cheaper and faster transactions. So another important thing is that these blockchains like Solana, Avalanche, Phantom that are separate from Ethereum, they're completely separate blockchains, right? In the future, it's expected that all of these blockchains will become interoperable and integrate with each other. So having this integration with Ethereum is what's going to make the smaller cryptos blow up. So having these bridges means that any project that's on Ethereum can easily just switch over to another blockchain, which will give cheaper and faster transactions. So this Ethereum bridge has been spoken about in Cardano for a while now, and I think that we don't know when it's going to be released. If you're watching this video after the 25th of September, I have a feeling they'll talk about when that bridge is coming out then. So that is going to have a massive effect on the adoption of Cardano. Because if it's a really simple process to switch over to Cardano where their services can be offered for cheaper, then people are going to do it. So what am I doing? Right, I'm not buying more Cardano right now, but instead I'm looking to invest in some of the smaller projects in its ecosystem, because these projects are at an early stage, so getting into these early will provide more gains. So say for example SundaySwap becomes the #1 DEX on Cardano, the same way that Uniswap is the #1 DEX in ETH. This is what happened. This is what the Uniswap price is. If you invest in SundaySwap early, it's like investing in Uniswap down here. But the issue is, like, if we're talking about like a DEX, like a decentralized exchange, not all of these will succeed, right? Only a few or just one of them might be better than all of them. So it's about doing the research to see which ones look the best. So far, from what I've seen, the highly rated projects on Cardano include SundaySwap, ADAX, MinSwap in terms of its DEXs. So I've moved my Cardano over and I'm staking it on their Yoroi wallet, and I'm staking it in this pool called the Alpha Pool, which will give me returns on Cardano, but it will also give me returns of MinSwap. So I'm waiting until the SundaySwap stake pool gets released, and I'm probably going to move over and stake onto that to gain SundaySwap coins. And I'm waiting for the price to dip a bit more before I buy into some of the top rated projects on Cardano. So some have coins that are already released that you can buy into, like Ergo and ADAX. So and another thing I'm doing is looking to get into the launch pads. So CardStarter is one, and another one that isn't on here is called AdaPad. These are where the new Cardano projects will get released, and if you get into the right launch, you can easily 20x whatever you put in. So that's what I'm looking into, but I'm only putting a small percentage of my portfolio in. It's likely that you won't see any gains from this for months, and some of these coins might crash and not make any money, right? So if there are any other cryptos in Cardano's ecosystem that you're a fan of, let me know in the comments. So if you got something useful out of the video, a free way to support the channel is to give me a like. And if you want to keep up to date with what I'm looking at in crypto, then follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Alright, in a bit.